To make it in food and drink, you may want to win business from wholesalers, retailers, or restaurateurs. It need not be daunting if you're well prepared. This guide provides the key tips to preparing and delivering a winning pitch that will fill buyers with confidence and have them eating or drinking from the palm of your hand.
The heart of pitching to win really focuses on 3 core elements, and that's preparation, presentation, and performance.
To prepare, there are some essential elements to consider.
So for small businesses to get listings with trade customers, they really need to think about their product. Make sure you include some evidence, why customers are buying your product, who likes it and why.
What are you bringing that's different to the market? There's no point imitating something. It has to deserve a place on that shelf. So do your research.
So really understanding where your product will fit with regards to your buyer's market is important.
You're dealing with wholesalers to get you into a market in London. You're dealing with the big supermarket chains and buyers. We need to look at it in a step-by-step incremental process and ultimately make sure we're doing it for all the right reasons.
Think about how that product is really different from their competitors' products.
When we started, I think there was about 6 or 7 Yorkshire gin brands. About a year ago, there was about 70. So it was incredibly competitive. We invested a lot of our money in our custom bottle to take it to that next level, to give it that presence on the shelf.
Just being unique doesn't necessarily mean there is a place for it, and I think it's understanding what other USPs it brings to that category.
From a preparation perspective, you need to understand who your audience are. You need to develop a pitch that's targeted and individual to your prospect. Preparation also requires a lot of practice. Run through your presentation, test it out on your colleagues and your networks.
So with Honest Bean, we're in booths and launched at the last quarter of last year into Holland & Barrett. It's about having a specific strategy for that retailer, finding the right person and then giving them something that they want.
Make sure that your data is well prepared. Make sure your sales forecasts are solid and that your sales revenue projections stand up to check-in.
The unique selling proposition, or the USP, talks about elements of your product or service that are unique, truly different from your competitors.
Back in the late 90s, you were looking at a couple of hundred breweries in the UK. You've now got about 3,500. So you've got everybody fighting for tiny little bits of the pot. But the reality is that every brewery essentially is just making the same product. How do you differentiate yourself from that? And we've done it by looking at our ethos and bringing that science to the front.
If we came out with a crisp, then obviously the question is, why is your crisp better than the next one? If you come out with a bean product, it's not why is it better than that one, it's what is it is the question that's asked. It's trying to answer those questions for the buyer.
We listened and worked with our clients at that important time and worked very, very quickly to make sure that we could service their needs and make sure they could build their businesses. You know, ultimately our success is built on their success, so it's very much a partnership.
Your product fundamentally is trying to provide a solution for your customers. You need to understand what those tangible benefits are for those subset of customers and highlight them.
Just because you love your brand and believe in it does not necessarily mean that the person at the end of the phone or the end of the email feels the exact same way. So it's about giving them information on how you will help them do what they need to do.
The third-party accreditation provides a level of reassurance to customers, particularly large retailers, and has helped us land some of our biggest contracts to date.
We actually had a contact at Asda. We got all the way down the process and then we decided not to go to the next meeting because we decided that had we sold the products to Asda, they'd probably devalue the brand. So we took the decision not to supply and we decided to continue on our other strategy, which is to supply smaller independents and attractions only, and we've rolled forward with that.
An elevator pitch is a compressed type of sales pitch, usually somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds. It's your opportunity to introduce yourself, introduce your product and service. You've got to have a hook, that emotional pull. The idea is to secure more time with your prospect.
Your business pitch is the opportunity to really sell to a buyer. It involves all the details of your product and the opportunity it provides for them. The market, brand, pricing and commercial aspects, the look and taste, negotiating and closing the deal. Here are some key aspects to consider.
I sought advice in putting the presentation together, in the actual pitching, in the feeling insanely nervous when walking through the doors of these places.
From a presentation perspective, make sure that your actual presentation is delivered on PowerPoint or using a laptop. Make sure that your slides look good, that they're succinct. Don't use jargon. Structure your presentation clearly. Make sure you include all of the key elements. Make sure you include your story. Why did you start your business? Why does your product exist? What's your traction? What are the key milestones to date? Also make sure you include some evidence. Who likes it and why? And finally, finish with a clear close. What is it you want from your pitch?
My name is Duncan Lewis and I am a communication trainer. To make a brilliant first impression, it's important to be fully focused, and by this I mean to be fully present. Display your passion through your vocal energy. Controlled nerves are positive, uncontrolled nerves are less helpful. One of the best techniques is breathing. So just before you are pitching, it's important to take a few deep breaths. This will help relax you. Non-verbal communication or body language are designed to give your buyer the confidence in you and your product. From the handshake to the body language that you display, your posture or your stance, the eye contact that you make, the smile. Authenticity is really about keeping it real and genuine, being really clear, having integrity, and this means about being really open and truthful.
For us, it's all about honesty. Sustainability is one of our core values, and we do it because we believe it's important for the future. We don't do it just to be seen to be doing it or just talking about it.
My one piece of advice for producers wanting to get a listing with trade buyers is really focus on your product. Make sure it's truly different, it's unique, it's high quality, and it delivers consistently. Also, be persistent. It's not easy getting a listing. It takes time and it takes practice, and you can't do that unless you get yourself out there and in front of people.
Think the impossible. You can ask those two simple words, why not? Then you might actually find out you just created a whole new concept, a whole new product, and you'll find a whole new niche in the market that no one else is exploiting.
They're in business, we're in business. They need to understand that what you're giving them and what the product is that you have fits into their remit and will add to their bottom line.
Take a look at the other videos in the toolkit to help your business make it.